Imagine working quietly in the background, unseen and unnoticed by the rich and powerful. Until one simple word changes everything. A black hotel maid was just answering a routine phone call when she spoke in Dutch, unaware that a millionaire standing nearby would freeze in shock, turn to her, and demand to see her immediately. What he discovered after that call would forever change both of their lives. Stay with us till the end, because this story will not only touch your heart, but also remind you that greatness can be hidden in the most unexpected places. Welcome to Gentle Words, and before we dive in, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, because you won't want to miss the stories that inspire millions every day. It was a quiet morning in the heart of Amsterdam, where a luxury 5-star hotel rose like a glass palace among the cobbled streets and canals, filled with tourists and business tycoons from around the world. And yet hidden within its polished marble hallways and shimmering chandeliers was a young black maid named Amara. A woman whose story had been overlooked by most of the world, because like many maids she moved in silence, pushing her cart of linen and cleaning supplies, bowing politely when guests passed, never expecting anyone to ask about her life, never expecting anyone to see beyond the uniform and the tired smile she wore every day. But fate has a strange way of turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. And on that morning fate would intervene in the most unexpected way. Because Amara had just finished polishing the brass handles of the elevator, when the phone clipped to her apron buzzed. It was a call from her younger brother back in Suriname. And though she was used to speaking to him quickly and quietly during her breaks, this time the call came through right in the middle of the hotel lobby, where she had paused for a moment, so without thinking she answered, and responded in fluent Dutch. Her words rolling smoothly and naturally as she told her brother she would send money soon, and that he should not worry about their mother's medication, her voice warm, controlled, yet laced with a hint of exhaustion. But in that very moment, standing just a few steps away, waiting for his car to arrive, was a millionaire businessman named Victor van Houten, a Dutch-born magnate who had built his empire across Europe and the US, a man accustomed to wealth, status, and fine company. And yet he froze when he heard the maid speak in his native tongue so effortlessly. Because there was something more than just fluency in her voice, there was elegance, confidence, and the kind of articulation one did not expect from someone polishing hotel elevators. And curiosity gripped him so fiercely that he turned around, studied her carefully, and then with a calm but commanding voice said, "Miss, may I speak with you for a moment?" And Amara's heart skipped a beat. Because no guest had ever asked to speak with her like that. No millionaire had ever looked at her with such piercing interest, and in that instant her world, which had always been defined by hard work, long hours, and dreams kept tucked away, began to shift in ways she never imagined. Amara froze, her hands still resting against the golden handle of the elevator, as the millionaire's voice cut through the quiet hum of the lobby. And for a moment she wondered if she had done something wrong. Perhaps broken some unspoken rule by answering her phone in front of a guest. But when she lifted her eyes to meet Victor van Houten's, she did not see annoyance or arrogance in his gaze, she saw curiosity, a genuine spark of interest that unsettled her even more. And as she stepped forward nervously, clutching the cloth in her hand, she whispered softly, "Yes sir, how may I help you?" But instead of asking for directions or complaining about the service, Victor leaned slightly closer, lowering his voice so that no one else would hear, and said, "That was Dutch you were speaking, wasn't it?" And Amara blinked, uncertain whether to admit it, but finally she nodded, replying simply, "Yes sir, I speak Dutch." And Victor studied her with a long silence before asking, "Where did you learn to speak it like that?" And Amara hesitated. Because her story was not one she often shared, it was filled with struggles, migrations and sacrifices, but something about the sincerity in his tone made her answer quietly, "I grew up speaking it. My family is from Suriname, it is part of who I am." And as the words left her lips, she expected the conversation to end, for him to nod politely and walk away. But instead he seemed even more intrigued, as if her answer had unlocked a door to questions he never thought he'd ask a hotel maid. And after a pause he said something that made her breath catch in her chest. "I want to hear your story. Would you have a moment to talk to me?" And Amara's heart pounded. Because no guest had ever asked her to sit and share her life, and certainly not a man of his status, and though every instinct told her to politely refuse, something inside whispered that this moment might change everything. So with trembling hands she set aside her cleaning cloth, adjusted her apron, and followed him to the quiet lounge near the lobby where no one would disturb them, her mind racing with doubt, fear, and a flicker of hope she could not yet name, while Victor, for the first time in years, felt more alive in the company of someone who had no idea she was about to step into the center of his world.